you can travel for free or nearly for free when you have a business and when you're working in your business. And this will be especially great for my ed consultants or consultants in general who typically have to travel for their work. Let me show you how I was able to go to Dallas. I spent 8 days in Dallas, Texas, and probably 90% of my entire trip was able to be paid for through the business, even though I didn't spend 8 days working in Texas. So I'm going to walk you through what it is you should do, how it is you should log it, and what some of the rules are that allow you to be able to do this. Because one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of folks are going out of town, but they're paying for it out of their pocket, out of your personal income, your home income. And the goal is for you to pay for it out of your business income. And so it's just about doing it a little bit different, and you're still going to get the same enjoyment that you would have gotten just going on your regular personal trip. So I was in Dallas at the Black Rodeo the 17th of June, and there were 17 of us there. So there were 17 folks there, but I was the only one who was working. Now, did all 17 people get logged on my travel expenses? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm telling you. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. So let me show you. By the end of this, you'll know how to explore new places and have new adventures. You'll also know how to grow your consulting company. So, I'm going to explain to you how I was able to secure two really good leads while I was in Texas that I just needed to follow up on, and also how to have your business pay for it. And this is really important because I have a group of people who are coming to St. Louis for a business conference that I'm hosting, Iman Live 2024. Everybody who's coming to St. Louis, this is a business expense. And the majority of this trip should be paid for through your business. You're going to be able to use it as expenses and offset your taxes, which is going to save you money. So it's almost like a pay now, a buy now, pay later, but only it's going to be buy now, get it back later. So let me explain it to you. So the first step, first of all, you got to have a business. For the people who don't have a business, and especially if you're an educator, hey, Care Cozy, hey, Tonisha, hey. She said, glad to see you on. Thank you, Tonisha. I am so excited. If y'all don't know, I got to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now I just need to make my watch hours, and I only have like 20 days to make the watch hours. So I got to get to pumping. I got to figure something out on YouTube. But thank you all for joining, for helping me on YouTube. And I will come back later. And I'll also do a live on that to let you all know. Because I believe Tonisha has been here for the entire journey. I started on YouTube with 0 subscribers, 0. And that's what I keep trying to explain to you all. Consistency is key. Just keep going. I just kept going. And I'll go through that on another live. But let's talk about. So the first thing you got to have, thank you, Care Cozy. Thank you. So the first thing you got to have is a business. If you don't have a business, especially as an educator, I don't know why. You need to have a business simply because it is a great way to offset some of those taxes we pay as educators. All of my single people, if you are single with no kids, girl, you need to get on the call with me so I can explain to you how setting up a business, the goal has to be to make money. Does that mean you're going to make money? It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make money, but the intention needs to be to make money. And so we need to get you a business. It's really going to help you at tax time. So most of us have businesses. And then number two, the second thing you have to do, you have to become a vendor in the system. Now, I'm giving you the easy way. It's multiple ways to be able to do this, but I'm walking you through how I have been able to travel to Texas, which is where I plan to move to. I've been able to go there multiple times. Those who follow me know I was in Texas in March. I was in Texas in October of last year at the championship games, the Rangers or whoever it was who won that sports, the football team. I'm sorry, we went to the football game. So I've been to Texas quite a bit because we Texas is high on our list for where we're moving to. And so I also infiltrated the Texas market, their school market. So, Duncanville, Houston, Katy, Fort Worth, Dallas, Waco. I'm in 16 school districts there. And so, out of those 16 school districts, I had to go through a process. See, a lot of us, we just want to win. Let me break this down real quick. Oh, can I just take a second to break this down? Because here's what I've noticed is the problem. Some of us are already in a painful situation. We're in a school system, we're spending our time, we're not making enough money, we need more money. We don't like the conditions we're in, we've outgrown the conditions we're in, and it's painful. It's painful. And you already know what you're getting each and every day. But then we won't do the next thing because we're afraid of that pain. It's going to be painful. And here's my theory, and you can disagree with me. You feel free to disagree. You in life, you're going to experience pain either way it goes. Nobody gets to escape the painful experiences in life. So you're going to experience pain either way it goes. Nobody gets to escape it. But I would rather choose my pain that's going to reward me more. So I could go to school and be the principal and have all of the stuff that comes along with being a principal. But we want to be nice people and we don't want to tell the truth about that. The teachers, the parents, the students, the community, the board of education, all of the time we have to spend, the emails, all of that. I can do all of that. And I know what my reward is going to be. It's going to be $116,000. I'm still going to spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort. It's going to stress me out. I'm going to have high blood pressure and all these things. Or I can choose a different pain, one that is still painful. I still got to show up. I got to be consistent. I got to work. I got to go after contracts. I got to talk to people. I got to get out of my comfort zone. I have to follow up on leads. I have to go out of town. I have to leave my household for a day or two, sometimes 3. It's still painful. But what is the reward? The reward is a whole lot more. So you just have to choose your pain. But when you choose your pain, you also get to choose your reward. So when we choose to stay in comfort, we're choosing that which we already have. It's painful anyway. So just choose your pain. When you choose a different pain, you choose a different outcome. And that outcome can cause some soothing for that pain. I'm okay with having to travel to Texas, to Duncanville, to meet and greet, because in the end, it's going to lead to a $40,000 contract for 10 days of work. What are we talking about? For $40,000 in the school system, I got to work 3-4 months to make $40,000 as a school principal. As a teacher, how many months do you have to work to make $40,000? So I'm telling you, choose your pain. Am I telling y'all this is easy? I'm not going to sit in your face and tell you it's easy. But guess what? It's worth it. It's worth it. It's more fulfilling. I feel more impactful. I've created some great relationships, but I'm going to move on. So I went to Texas. I have a business and I did proposals. I wrote proposals in order to get into the vendor system in all 16 of the school systems I'm in Texas. You have to get into the vendor system in order to be able to market to their schools. All you got to do is ask yourself right now, how many schools can I market to right now? Ask yourself that question. How many schools am I able to market to right now? And for most of us, it's the school districts that the ones in your area, the ones that you used to work in. You might know 5 or 6 or 7 different school districts. Guess what? I have a list of schools that I can market to that's over 10,000 schools. So it's all about numbers, people. It's all about numbers. When I can market to 10,000 schools and you can only market to 12 schools, who do you think is going to get the contract? Who do you think has a higher likelihood of gaining a contract? But let me keep going. We're talking about how I was able to travel for nearly for free, but I got to get you to understand how I got there. So I don't want y'all to say she only gave me half of the story. I'm gonna give you all I got. So what did I do? I did a killer proposal. I sent it in. How did I do that? I had to research and submit the proposal to become a vendor. First of all, who here has written a proposal? Who has proposals that you're submitting? Raise your hand. Put it in the chat. Hey, Linda. Hey. Tell us in the chat who has proposals that you're submitting. And then what's the one thing that you think is crucial in proposal writing? Like, so many people misunderstand the crucial thing that needs to be present in proposal writing. What is it? Put it in the chat for me. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me today. What is happening? I thought we was good. Talk to me. So then number 4, I had to market my services. So I sent out my emails. I made some phone calls, and we go through all of this in the mastermind. I showed them the process of this. Some of y'all already know this. You market your services. And so then here's where we get to the travel. Then I aligned my events. Y'all hear that? So you can't just hop up and be like, oh, I'm going here and I'm going to charge it to my business. That's not how this works. So I knew that the Black Rodeo was June 15th in Texas. I knew that it was happening that week. And so I knew that that was also the end of the school year. So because I had done the previous things, you see how this is why I'm telling you the things that I had to do, because I'm showing you how I had to plan this ahead of time and not 10 days before. So I had to, y'all, we know we got to have a business, but then I had to become a vendor in the systems of the locations that I'm going to in order to make it align. And then I had to market my services and kind of build a couple of relationships. We teach those strategies in the mastermind, how you build those relationships. And so then I align my events. And so even now, I'm thinking about what are my places that I'm traveling in 2025, and am I a vendor in any of those school systems so I can align events? You see what I'm saying? So I align the events. Amelia says, I have one proposal in with the district, but I have no idea if I did it correctly. Amelia, girl, look here. Get signed up for the proposal writing challenge. I'm not one of those people who play with people and get them half of the solution. Girl, I will walk you through in 5 days. At the end of that 5 days, you're going to have a proposal. Because this is what I do know, Amelia. You getting contracts ain't stopping me from getting contracts. It's enough for all of us. There are 132,000 schools in the United States of America, and I can't even work in 1% of all of those schools. So I'm not telling you to get signed up just trying to trick you. I'm telling you, you can win more by understanding the key to proposal writing. All of the people who've worked with me, they already know I got the juice to this. And you know why? Because I was a former principal. I used to sit and read the proposals. You know why? Because I sat on the board of education. And so I used to have to read all of those horrible proposals that came in. And it was horrific, y'all, to sit on the board of education. Do you know how many proposals we would get? We would get 40 and 50 proposals for one set of work that we needed done. And I would literally sit there and bang my head on the table because y'all know I'm crazy. I sit there banging my head on the table like, why y'all won't tell these people we don't need all of this stuff? Why y'all doing this to us? And so when I became a consultant and I started doing proposals, my proposals will win. I win 6 out of 10. Every 10 that I submit, I win at least 6 of them. And that's how I'm in 16 school districts in the state of Texas. I'm in several school districts in the state of Florida. I'm in school districts in Illinois, in Wisconsin. Oh my goodness. And that's how I'm able to market to so many schools. But the part of the reason why we're not able to get contracts and to get big lucrative contracts is because we're not getting enough schools to market to. You got to have the number of schools that you need. I always recommend to have at least 1,000 schools to market to. And so when I say 1,000 schools, to you, you might be saying, oh my God, how am I supposed to get 1,000 schools? That's what I'm telling you. It's easy to do when you know the process to do it. Okay, so let me keep going. So then I aligned my events. So I knew that I was going to Texas in June. So then I began to call a couple of the schools that I had been building relationships with. And I was talking to the secretary and I was like, well, I'll be in town. Is it okay if I come back? Can I get an appointment with the principal? Blah, blah, blah. So all I needed was 3 appointments. See, because I knew that I would be there for 8 days. So you have to strategically align it because I wanted to be there Wednesday to Wednesday. Y'all hear me? So I needed to make sure that I had at least two of those appointments during that first week and one during that second week that would justify me staying the full weekend over into that next week. So we got there on Wednesday. That was my arrival date. And then I had an appointment on that Friday. And yeah, it was on that Friday. And then I had another appointment the following week, Monday, Tuesday, and then we flew back out on Wednesday. So you have to make sure, so that justified me closing that loop of staying there. Okay, so understand that when you are traveling, let me go over this. So everything that I do is covered in my business. So my airfare was is charged to the business. So I rented an Airbnb because I would be there for 8 days. You see what I'm saying? So because I'm going to be there for 8 days, I can rent an Airbnb because it's the same as staying in a hotel for 8 days. And if I stayed in a hotel for 8 days, I would pay around $150 a night times eight. So that's going to put me at $1,600, $1,700 for my hotel. Well, I can stay at an Airbnb for a comparable price, but guess what? I can bring my family with me, and I don't have to put them on. I don't have to pay for their hotel because they get to come with me for free. You see, guess what? I need a rental car anyway because in order for me to get from the my accommodations to the schools, I need a vehicle. Like if I were going to Uber, that would be on my business account. If I'm renting a car, it's on my Uber account. I'm sorry, it's on my business account. So I still get to rent the car and it gets charged to the business. Well, guess what? Everybody gets to ride in the car. So you get to spend only the money on your family that you need to pay for, which is still cheaper because I only had to pay for airfare for my family. We ain't gonna talk about the points that you can use because when you have credit card points, you can use those points to pay for your family's airfare. So I want us to keep these things in mind. This is why you see people able to travel and you're wondering they always traveling, how they always traveling. If you set it up and organize it right, listen here, everybody who's coming to St. Louis for Iman Live for July 12th, if you don't already have a Marriott Bonvoy program, I don't know why you don't have it set up. You need to have the Bonvoy program set up. It's free. It's free. You need to get it set up, and you're going to get points for your stay at the Ritz Carlton. The Ritz Carlton is now a part of the Marriott brand. You're going to get points for your stay. And so make sure that you're accumulating those points. You will be amazed at how quickly points accumulate and how you can use those points to go to places that you've never been before and always dreamed of going. So because let me just add this in, y'all, this is just a little extra bonus. So like I'm doing the event at the Ritz Carlton. And because I'm a Marriott member, I am a platinum member at Marriott. So I asked the lady, I said, okay, so I'm doing this event. I want to get my points for this event on my credit card because I'm using a Bonvoy credit card. And she was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me get it on here because it wasn't on there at first. She took my reward account number down so that she can add those on. Well, guess what? Those points from that, you can't just go to average locations. This is one of the things that I want y'all to remember. Don't use your points for stuff you can afford on your own. Use your points for stuff that you can't afford or that's not in the budget for you right now. So like my points I would use to go to like Hawaii. I would use to go to Belize. I would use to go to the DR. I would not use that to go to somebody's wedding in Alabama. I wouldn't use that to go to a family reunion in Memphis. Like use it to go to exotic places where you know the price will be super high and you don't have to pay the super high price because the points are going to absorb it. So I'm using those points. I got a trip to Belize in November. I'm going to use that to stay at a 5-star resort in Belize. And it's going to cost me $0. So I just thought I'd throw that in because I've seen people using points to stay in Memphis. No, sis, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. They're using points to go to Baltimore. That's not what we're doing. So anyway, So you got to align the events. So once I got there and I had the appointments and I stopped by some of the schools, guess what happened? You get to build the relationship. So now the secretary at the one school, so I went to the one school and it was really hot. Like when I say it was really hot, it was probably 100 degrees that day. And, it was hot outside. Like ain't no way around it. So what she say, got it set up. You dropping gems, Dr. D. Thanks for not gatekeeping. Absolutely. So I go to the school and my hair was up in that ponytail. Y'all saw me with the hair up in the ponytail because it was hot. I had to get this hair off my neck and off my shoulders because it was too hot. So I had my hair up in the ponytail. And I had on regular clothes. And that's what I try to explain to you all. And that's what I explained to you all in the mastermind. Stop with this image of I got to be dressed up, business clothes on, I gotta look the part and all this. You need to be yourself. That's what you need to be. So I had my hair up in a ponytail. I had my sunglasses on. I had on a pair of shorts, t-shirt, tennis shoes. Presentable. I'm not saying I looked a mess. I was presentable. It was a cute little two-piece matching short set and tennis shoes. Okay. Most of y'all probably would have wore sandals. I have an injury right now, so I have to wear tennis shoes. So I went in to meet with to talk to the appointment, and I was like, hey, how are you? Good morning, good morning. I have a quick appointment. I ain't gonna take much time. Is he here? Boo boo boo. So the lady was very, friendly, very open. And so it kind of took her by storm, that I was looking like a regular parent or somebody. And I told her, I said, I'm here from St. Louis, and this heat in Texas is not the same as the heat in St. Louis. Y'all had me sweating. So I had to pull my hair up, sister. I couldn't leave his hair down. So you get to see Dr. D with the hair pulled up in a ponytail, but most people don't get to see Dr. D with the hair pulled up in a ponytail. Well, that started our small talk. She was like, "Oh yeah, it's a hot one today. It got to 100 degrees before noon. It's not even noon yet." And I was like, "Right, I'm not accustomed to that." I was telling her in St. Louis, when we get to 100 degrees, it's always after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning time. We're good, and even like right now, it's nice outside right now. And so we laughed and we chuckled. Well, guess what? This is the point I want y'all to get. She knows me now. So when I call back and say, I'm just trying to get a minute of his time, she gonna know exactly who I am because I'm the lady from St. Louis. I'm the lady who came in with the hair pulled up in a ponytail. Even if she forgets me, I can remind her I'm the lady from St. Louis who came there with my hair pulled up in that ponytail. She'll remember me. I made a couple of great relationships as I was doing that. So there is benefit in doing this because these are leads in your pipeline, and at the end of the day, people work with people that they like. And so it's not about being ultra businessified. It's not about being that person who's going to speak perfect English. It's not about the person who got on the highest heels or the best slacks. It's about the person who can make the connection and build the relationship. And just be yourself. All you got to do is be yourself. People connect to you authentically. So then I scheduled the school visit, and then I was able to blend work with fun. I was able to go there, and this only took, I did one morning, it was maybe 2 hours because I had to get there. Y'all know in Texas, everything is 30 minutes apart from each other. I don't know what type of miles they do in Texas, but in St. Louis, everything is a mile a minute. If it's 12 miles, it's 12 minutes. If it's 15 minutes, it's 15 miles. That ain't the case in Texas, baby. That thing said 3.4 miles, 22 minutes. I was like, what in Jesus' name is happening here? It was crazy. So in Texas, so it took me 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes to get back. So that was an hour, but I wasn't at the school an hour. I was at the school maybe 25 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. So as you can see, it depends on you. You got to schedule it. And of course, don't schedule it at a time that's going to interrupt any of your family activities. So my family activities, we already knew would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the other things that I did, I was able to go to Walmart and buy some items, and I can list those as supplies. Now, let's be honest. Now, y'all know I like to give y'all the whole truth now. The IRS ain't finna go line by line through your receipt. I had $100 bill that's labeled supplies for Walmart while I was in Texas. That's going on my business account because I did have to buy a couple of things for going over to the schools because I wanted to leave some mementos and some little tokens, and I needed to get a couple of things for that. So I also bought some other things on there that was for the house that I was staying in. And so that's just simply listed in my QuickBooks account. I put it as supplies for school visit. But the thing about it is the IRS is not going to go line by line. Oh, well, what's this? Oh, well, why you got paper towels on here? I can easily say I needed paper towels because it was hot and I was sweating in the car. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just telling y'all the truth. You can like it or you cannot like it, but I'm telling you the truth. And so you also get your meals paid for when you're out of town. And so all you have to do is strategically pick places that sell like platters and things like that. So I can't even think of the names of the places we went to. One of them I know was Thibodeau's. We went to Thibodeau's, not Papado's, but Thibodeau's. It was a Cajun restaurant, and they had catfish platters, but it had like shrimp, catfish, this, that. So we were able to share that platter. Well, that can go on my bill and that can be listed as one of my meals because I get to pay for meals while I'm out of town. Now, could I pay for my whole family's meal? No, but if I got a platter, we can all eat off of it, and it was a big platter. And so there are strategic ways that you can use to be able to build those things to your business. Now, like when you all come to St. Louis, those are your meals that you're going to eat at conferences. And so that gets billed towards your business expenses. Your Uber, your rental car, your hotel, all of that gets billed towards your business expenses. Anything that you pay for at the conference gets billed as a business expense. And so those are all expenses. And so let me just tell you really quickly how this benefits you. Because I know some people are saying, why are you saying we get to travel for free when we're paying for it? That's not traveling for free. Let me explain it to you. So normally, if you travel, you would pay for your airfare, you would pay for your hotel, you would pay for your car, you would pay for your dinners, and you would get a receipt, and you would throw it in the trash, and you would go on about your day because there's nothing else to do with it. You can keep it all you want to, but there is nothing else that can happen with that receipt, right? Right. So that's done. You just spent money on an experience and it's over with. Well, with business expenses, you're going to pay for your hotel, you're going to pay for your flight, you're going to pay for your car, you're going to pay for your food, you're going to pay for any t shirts or anything that you buy while you're at the event. And then you're going to log those expenses. You're going to log them. Well, Dr. D, why am I logging the expenses? Because when tax time comes, we're now in July. The fiscal year ends December 31st. We're going to be doing taxes February, March of next year. Let's say Tonisha closes a $40,000 contract, which is really easy to do. Y'all need to stop playing. If you're not closing 40, 50, 60, $70,000 contracts, I don't know what you're doing. But you ain't working with me. You're not working with me because the people who are working with me, they're closing big contracts. The people who are doing it on their own, they're the ones closing small contracts because they don't know how to close big contracts and they don't know the steps to take. But anyway, that ain't what we're talking about. So you let's say you made $40,000. Well, guess what? You got to pay taxes on that $40,000. So $40,000, you got to pay taxes on that. Let's say the taxes on that will be $8,000. Do you want to pay the $8,000 to Uncle Sam? I would rather give my money to myself than to give it to Uncle Sam. So instead of paying 40,000, instead of the 40,000, you deduct all of your expenses from the previous year. From 2024. You deduct. So let's say you spent $2,000 on travel, or I can do myself. For this trip, I spent $4,000. That $4,000 is going to come off of what I made in the year. So if it's 40,000 minus 4, now you're at 36,000. Wouldn't you rather pay taxes on 36,000 as opposed to 40,000? And anything that you paid in your business, your software applications, those of you all who have Kajabi, Those of you all who have um, a MailChimp or a ConvertKit or any of those, all of that gets deducted on your business expenses. And your goal is to run up those business expenses. Your goal is not to have money just sitting in the bank. You need to be paying off your debt. You need to be investing in your business. You need to be going to trainings and workshops so that you can learn how to make more money and learn how to save on expenses like taxes and things. And so a lot of us are scared to make money because we're afraid of taxes. You don't have to be afraid of taxes. If your former president, along with Amazon, along with Jeff Bezos, I'm sorry, along with Elon Musk and all of the other people, why are they not complaining about taxes? Because they are using their expenses to offset their income. And you just have to learn the game. And in these programs, they teach you the game. It's not hidden. There are 475 tax codes that are geared towards small businesses. The problem is we won't take advantage of them. We keep doing what's comfortable for us. It's comfortable for us to use our debit card from our personal account that we've been using to pay for everything. People, we have to stop. We have to stop. You need a business checking account. You need to pay for things out of your business checking account. Well, now you're saying, Chanel, I ain't got no money in the business checking account. Girl, I understand that because when I opened my business, I didn't have no money in my business checking account either. But guess what? All it is moving money, people. You're paying for it out of your personal account anyway. You're funding this out of your work paycheck anyway. Move that money over into your business checking account. When your check comes, it's gonna hit $2,000 gonna go into your personal account because that's what your work check is. You're gonna take 1,000 of that, move it over to your business account, and instead of paying for your Kajabi out of your personal account, you're gonna pay for it out of your business account. Instead of paying for the gas for your car out of your personal account, you're gonna pay for it out of your business account. Instead of paying for the flight that you're gonna take out of your personal account, you're gonna pay for it out of your business account. Now you have a log of all of the business expenses that you use. But we got to stop being so set on doing what's comfortable. Yeah, it's easy to use the same debit card that you've been using, swipe it, and go on about your day, but it's not going to pay you back at the end of the year. We're talking about getting our money back. We're talking about getting our money back. And that's one of the beautiful things that Wealth Consulting Tax Services does. She helps us to truly understand the 475 tax codes that are geared towards small businesses and which ones you are available to take. If you don't know that they're available to you, how can you take them? How can you take them? And so stop thinking that I'm going to have to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars in taxes. You're going to pay those taxes because you didn't take advantage of the tax codes. It's not cheating. It's not stealing. It's not breaking the rules. It's not doing anything wrong. They give you guidelines of what to do, and you have to make sure that you stay within those guidelines. When I just went on this trip, I stayed within the guidelines. I scheduled my trip from Wednesday to Wednesday. I set up appointments on the front end of the trip and the back end of the trip, and you get a day of travel. My day of travel was Wednesday arriving, Wednesday leaving out. So the weekend, I automatically have to stay and I don't have to do any work because I'm staying over for my next appointment the following week. So all of that gets to be counted as a business expense, and my family gets to come because they're sharing the accommodations with me. Now, am I writing down my family was with me? No, I'm not writing that down. I was there in Dallas, Texas for three client meetings that I needed to go to in person. I don't have to say my family was with me. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And so I'm now able to log all of that. And I traveled at about a 75% discount because my family got to come with me. I got to go to the rodeo. I got to meet some great administrators and people and build relationships. Did I close a contract while I was there? No, I did not. Nobody said you had to close a contract. Nobody said that. See, sometimes we put thoughts into our own heads. Well, if you don't close, I ain't got no leads. You're going there to generate leads. Lead generation is a part of the work. You have to generate leads, and then you have to close the leads, and then you have to, maintain that lead. That requires relationship building. So even when you're doing things like sending birthday cards to your clients, sending Christmas gifts or holiday gifts to your clients, all of that is a part of your business expenses because that is used to maintain your clients. There are a lot of opportunities and tax advantages that are available to you if you are willing to take them and if you are willing to educate yourself on them. This means that you can't be the one doing your taxes. We got to stop trying to be teachers and tax professionals. See, in the school system, we have to do it all. This is not that. And so, if you got any questions, you can put them in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer them for you. But I'm just trying to help you all to understand the steps that I took and how I was able to take an 8-day vacation and I was able to combine work and pleasure and build leads and not have to pay for it out of my pocket. It was a business expense. And you can do the same thing. The question is, are you willing to do it? Because again, a lot of us want to stay in our comfort zone. We don't want to do anything that pushes us into the unknown or makes us have to do anything different. Yes, you got to set up a business banking account. If you don't have a business banking account, do you really have a business? Yes, you need to use that debit card. Yeah, it's going to be a little uncomfortable at first moving between the two cards, but after you do it for a little while, you get used to it. You get used to it. And then after you get that first refund check from adding that business onto your taxes, you're going to really be like, oh, no, I'm only using my business account. I'm not using that other card. So I'm telling you, there are advantages to it. I'm more than happy to answer questions. I don't know if anybody had any questions, but I'm trying to answer questions. Okay, she said, Amelia says, I teach ESL to adults. That's awesome. I'm not sure how I can scale it up to this extent. Girl, what are you talking about? You teach ESL to adults. You okay? So, and keep in mind, I don't know Amelia. She's just on the live. So, Amelia, don't think that I'm saying anything about you personally. Okay, I'm just giving some examples here because I don't know how people respond to stuff, and Amelia may not know me and how I interact with people. Okay, so Amelia, she teaches ESL to adults. First of all, I would ask, like, what is your income goal? And so when you have an income goal, like some people want to make $20,000 or $40,000, I would say up at ESL to adults is a big area because we all know, like we just had Maggie to close a $25,000 contract to do 10 parent sessions over at the immigration center. So a lot of times we will box ourselves into only schools. Oh, she wants full replacement. Okay, I'm gonna say this to you, Amelia. And Amelia, girl, I love you. It ain't nothing personal. If you already making X amount of money, let's just say Amelia is already making $75,000. Why would you only want to replace your income? That's your floor now. We only go up. If I'm making 75, my goal now is to make 100 because that's your floor. You already know how to be a $75,000 girl. You already know how to make $75,000. So that's your floor. We're not looking for a full replacement. Why would we leave what we have just to replace it? Think about it like this. If you were in a relationship with an abusive person, would you want to get rid of that abusive person and go get another abusive person? No, that's what replacement is. We want to increase. You deserve more. Think about what it is you really want. So, and then also think about expanding who it is you teach ESL to. So, like Maggie teaches ESL as well, and she was a school educator and she was an ESL teacher in the school system. Well, now she's a consultant and she consults with school systems around ESL, parent engagement, and things like that. So we have to expand to community-based organizations. The first thing that I would ask you is, where are these adults who speak English as a second language? Where are they at? And that's where we need to start at. And so you can definitely scale this up. I'm gonna tell you how in just a second. I don't know where you're at in the process, so I'm trying to fill some gaps for the other people who are listening. So first of all, you got to ask yourself, where are the people at who speak English as a second language? Where do we find them at? What are the organizations they use? What are the opportunities they take advantage of? Because all of those community-based organizations, they have grant money. They have grant money. So even if you think about those who come here and they want to get a GED, but they don't speak English, think about the ones who are taking English classes to learn how to speak English. What are the other services that they are using? Are they applying for housing? So then you would form a partnership with the housing authority or the Department of Housing and talk to them. Maybe there is a, like in New York, they have a whole task force for immigration. You got to talk to them. This is what I mean about pitching your services. And so when you pitch your services, you're letting them know that they have this problem and I have this solution. Let us work together. Well, they get grant money in and they have to spend that grant money. Well, they can spend that grant money with your company or organization. And so you become one of their vendors, they become one of your clients. There are also students who speak English as a second language. I'm just saying in the juvenile system. Well, guess what? They need people to come in and support these students because it is supposed to be about getting them to be able to exit the system better than they came in. And it's so many opportunities available. But all you have to think about is where are the people who speak English as a second language, the adults, not the students, but the adults, and what services do they need? And so, like in Maggie's case, she worked, got a contract with the immigration people in Chicago. As you know, there are a lot of immigrants in Chicago, and her work is to do 10 parent workshops to help the parents to be able to navigate the school system for the students. But think about the adults need to learn, get their education. They need to learn how. Some of them need to learn how to read. Some of them need job and career help in order to move into a new career. So all you have to do is think about where they're at. The next thing that I would say to Amelia is a lot of times as educators and as people who've been in the education system, we think that we have to do all the work ourselves. That's just not true. That's an employee mentality. So you may start out doing the contracts because you need to get the money so that you can pay your bills and put yourself in a good position. This is what I always recommend to my clients. I always recommend to them, the first few contracts, probably the first 6 to 10 contracts, you're going to work yourself because most of us, we have credit card debt, bills that we need to pay, cars we need to pay off. We got to get ourselves in position. So we don't just quit our job because we're making a little more money over here. We position ourselves. We create an exit strategy, and we're working those contracts ourselves. We're getting us a good, freedom fund. We are paying off all our debt, and we're having a little fun too. We're not working to just struggle and keep working and work ourselves to the bones. And so once you get those things paid off, then now we talk about scaling up. Scaling first starts with your systems. A lot of people think that scaling starts by hiring people. I highly don't advise that as a consultant. In a regular business, scaling starts with hiring people. But as a consultant who make up 33% of the workforce in the United States of America, you need to start by systemizing and automating a lot of your things. And a lot of us think, oh, I'm already automated. You're not. You're not. You got to have your automation. Your email should be going out automatically. Your follow up should be going out automatically. You should have a system for your proposals that go out. When I was in Texas, I sent 3 proposals, within 24 hours. Within 24 hours because I have a system. And they were personalized. They were specific to the school system that I was talking to, had all of the information in only for that school system. But there is a system that I use. So you got to get everything on automation. All of my follow up was already automated. Everything is automated. My customer experience, when I onboard somebody, I already know what email they're going to receive, what the next email they'll get, what links they'll receive, what access they'll receive. And so you got to get it automated. When I say it takes a little bit to get these things automated, it takes a little bit to get them automated. And it also costs you money because all of the free systems and the lower level systems that we were using, That was fine to begin with because you needed to make money. We can't be spending all this money and we ain't made no money. So we show you how to get started for free. But then you need to automate, and that requires money. So that means that I'm going to be buying Kajabi at 99 or 149 a month. That means that I'm going to have this system for $40 a month. I'm going to have Calendly at $40 a month. I'm going to have this at 20. So now you got some more monthly expenses that you're paying for. So now the next thing you have to do, because she's talking about scaling her business, y'all, her ESL adult business. So then once you have the systems on automation and everything is running smoothly, that's your first set of scale. Y'all, honestly, that takes 6 to 12 months. I'm just saying. Some of y'all think that, oh, I'm just going to hire somebody and they're going to do my systems for me and then I'm good, I'm ready to go. It's not, because it's going to be kinks in it. There are always kinks. We don't know what's going to happen. So you're going to work on that, and then you're going to be figuring out, well, what do I need to do? Well, the next part of your scaling is systemizing your program. Your program. You got to systemize your framework. You got to have your set things that happen. Well, now that my framework is systemized, I can easily call Tonisha and say, Tonisha, I got this PD that I need to do over here at Chicago Ridge Middle School. And I know that you are in Florida, so I want to pay you X amount of money to come do this PD. The PD is already done. The program is already set. I just need you to use your educational expertise to deliver it. I don't need you to write the PD. I don't need you to do anything but review the PD, understand the content of the PD, ask me any questions that you have. And for me, I'm just telling y'all what I do. When I outsource any of my work to, when I subcontract with somebody else, I have them to come on Zoom and perform the PD for me, because I need to make sure they're hitting the points that need to be hit in order for it to make the point that needs to be made. So we come on line, and of course, in real life, it will take you 3 hours to do the PD, but online with just me and you, it's only going to take about an hour. So we do a 2-hour review session where you go through the PD as if you're performing it in the school system, and I am the participant with the same energy, with the same engagement. Well, it's helping you also, because now you are getting more familiar with the PD. And then at the end of it, I'll tell you points that you need to think about if your story didn't connect, because you'll use your stories, not my stories. And so I'll say, you probably need to think about a different angle to the story or whatever. We finish up. She goes, she performs the PD. She gets paid for the PD. Guess what? I'm at home. I get paid for the PD too. So the PD may have been $3,500. I paid Tonisha $1,500 to go do the PD, 3 hours of work, $1,500. Tonisha gonna do it because Tonisha can see the bigger picture, and I'm making $2,000. Tonisha didn't have to go out, find the work. Tonisha didn't have to create the PD. All Tonisha had to do was use 2-3 hours to review the PD and go over it with me, and then show up, and she's making $1,500. And so that's how you begin to scale. The other part that you begin to scale, you begin to replace pieces of the work that you're doing. I always recommend for the ladies to, the first thing that they're going to do, they're going to get a virtual assistant. The first thing, Tonisha said she will go right now, as she said. She said she will go right now. Okay, so you see how her response was? So Amelia, you want to, the first part is systems, and then the next part, you're going to get a VA, a virtual assistant. They don't have to live in town with you. You ain't never got to see them. Y'all interact online, but sometimes it takes a little bit to find the person who can do the work that you need them to do. So instead of trying to find a VA to replace everything that you do, break the things apart that you do. So for me, email. I just need somebody who would do my emails for me. If I can take emails off my plate, they can do the emails, send them out for any time. Like right now, I'm having a proposal writing challenge. She sends the emails out. That's her job, to get all of the emails out, to communicate. So she has to send all of the emails out about the proposal writing challenge. She sends all of the emails out about Iman Live and all of those things. So that's on her plate. That's off of my plate. Then the next thing would be like I outsourced a graphic designer, because when you have to make all of these landing pages, when you may have to make all of these flyers, a lot of us, we're trying to do things that we're not gifted in. So that's outsourced to a graphic designer to create those things. So think about all the things that you do that need to be replaced. When people are calling in to book a call, I do take a few of the book calls because I enjoy talking to you all. It's not a hassle for me. I actually feel honored and privileged to be able to speak to many of you all. But I do have people who take, part of my team take sales calls. So they will talk to you, see if we're a good fit, because we don't let anybody that's not a good fit into the program. We try to create a program that's high quality with high quality and talented women. And we try to keep negative people, people who complain, people who are always looking for a problem. We don't want those people in our program. And so we talk to every single person who enters into our program. You will not find anybody on the face of this earth who has come into our mastermind and who did not have a personal conversation with me or one of the ladies that works with me, because we screen everybody before they come in. But I knew that I couldn't keep doing all of that and traveling to schools and doing Zoom calls and doing social media and doing email. Like, you got to figure out what are the things that are low level tasks that need to come off your plate, and what are the things that bring the money in. What did Olivia said? Please join this program. It's amazing. I promise. That's Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you. Thank you. And so you have to think about, what do I need to take off of my plate? And that's the next level of scale. A lot of people think, let me just scale my program. Let me add more stuff to my program. No, a lot of people think, let me add more products. No, people, that's not what it is. You got to scale other parts first. You're going to make a lot of your money off of one offer. You're going to have one signature product that you're going to sell. And that's one of the biggest problems that I see. People want to sell a course, a book, a this, a that, a that. No, pick the one thing, your signature product. That should be your money maker. Your first go-to. When you come to me, I'm selling you my mastermind. I'm selling you my mastermind because that's the total solution. And then if you're not ready for the mastermind, then I'll tell you about a next option. But I don't just automatically say, oh, well, she probably can't afford it, so I'm going to go to the next option. I don't say, well, that might be too much for her, so I'm going to go to the next option. No, you should be selling your signature product. And then from that signature product, you can break apart some of the items in the signature product. But the problem is, some of us have so many things that we are then reverting to the smaller thing. Well, here, I got a book for you. Y'all, them books ain't finna pay our rent. Them books ain't finna create no transformation. Them books are not finna serve those people at the level that they need to be served at. So why are you pitching it to them? Them journals are not finna to pay your house note. They not gonna pay your car note. So why are you pitching that as your main product? To scale, you do not just keep adding products. That's not it. So I hope that answers your question, Amelia. I might have went too far for you, but I like for people to understand you were brave enough to ask the question. And so I'm always willing to give a transparent answer. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. It looks like Olivia was the only one who had a question. So that's it. That's all, folks. I ain't got no more. If you have a question, if you throw it in the chat right quick, I will answer it. If you don't have a ticket to the live event, you need to get one. Oh, and let me tell y'all, I'm going to be on Funky Dineva tonight. I don't know if y'all watch Funky Dineva on YouTube, but on YouTube, he is a pop culture commentator, and he is actually absolutely brilliant. His take on things, he's well educated. He has a very educated audience, and I love the way that his viewpoint of things. So I am an avid Funky Dineva fan. I've been watching Funky for probably 5, 6, maybe 7 years now. And so he will be interviewing me tonight about the work that I do. So please join me at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'll come on at about 8:15, and y'all can give me some little props in the chat. Let people know that I'm the real deal. She said, ask your questions. I love Funky. Okay, see, Olivia, and you see, Olivia watches Funky Dineva, and Olivia is a well established, highly talented, smart person. So I'm telling you, his audience is a very talented and high achieving audience. And so I think it's a great place for me to be interviewed. And I know I watch it. Like, we're regular people at the end of the day. So, yes, so join me tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Funky Dineva's YouTube channel. And come and support me. We got to get into the habit of supporting other people. I know in the school system, we don't do a lot of that. I know, because you got to go in your room, close the door. You can't tell all your secrets, because if that lady test scores be better than yours, then you're not going to be the best anymore. But that's not this. We're in the business world now, and you reap what you sow. So when you support other people, you get more support in your own business. You see how Amelia asked that question, and I gave Amelia the real answer. I didn't give Amelia part of the answer, a fake answer. I didn't try to keep part from it and say, girl, you got to pay me. No, I gave her the answer. I come here to serve you all. I don't consider myself a content creator, nor do I have a desire to be a content creator. I come on these platforms because I know it's people out there that was just like me, who have questions, who don't understand, who, a lot of us have gotten older, because y'all ain't no spring chicken no more. And we've gotten older and we don't understand the game that we're playing. And so I come here to help y'all. And some folks say that this is creating content. Okay, well, I'll accept that, but that's not my goal of creating content. I'm coming here to serve y'all, to help y'all. The Lord saw fit to bless me, and I want to share and let other people know. I know, of as smart as I am, I didn't know these things. I know it's some other smart people who don't know these things as well. So that's why I come here. So y'all come on over to Funky Dineva, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I told my girl to send an email out to my email list, so that to give y'all a reminder right before it starts. So I hope to see y'all there. I'm looking forward to it. And I hope this has been helpful for y'all, this session. I'm gonna put 6 curls in my hair, y'all. I'm gonna give myself 6 curls. So I'm gonna put some curls in my hair tonight. So